What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all living a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I saw something over on Reddit, and gosh, it just blows my mind. Just the awesome things this community puts together for the overall product. And honestly, Portal is a great idea. It's amazing. It truly is. But DICE is fumbling so incredibly hard right now when it comes to that concept. And honestly, it's going to push away a lot of players, especially the creative minds who actually want to create stuff within Portal. Forget about everybody else that just wants to join in on the experience, or they see something and they want to play it. No, forget about all of us. I'm talking about people who really actually want to make those creations. I'm telling you, DICE is going to scare them all away. And once all of those players leave and they all, are gone, Portal's going to be a wasteland. There's not going to be a single person creating anything. They won't want to bother with it. And sadly, that is going to be the death of Portal for years to come. And sadly, it's just going to be an irrelevant part of the overall product. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, before we go and dive on deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, guys are interested, got a link to the channel in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I saw this post over on Reddit from Curtain the Grind saying, new map, Gulf of Linden, featuring Breakthrough and Conquest Large. And ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely see they are taking a huge inspiration from Gulf of Omen, obviously. That's probably the main reason why they named the map specifically Gulf of Linden. But, look at this, guys. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I'll be completely real with you all. The layout looks great, looks like a style of gameplay that I would personally really freaking enjoy. And across the board, it just looks awesome. I swear, the BR experience, although the whole map wouldn't be good for a match of Conquest, right? That would be way too large. But it really is epic how DICE, and I have to give them props for this. Actually, I don't know if DICE put this together. Isn't it a completely different studio who's working on RedSec? I don't know, because I don't really pay that much attention to the Battle Royale side of things, because you guys already know I don't really care for that mode that much. But, if there's one positive thing that I could say about the Battle Royale, is that they did a phenomenal job at making every single section of the map within the BR experience feel like its own Conquest territory. It's the main reason why so many people are hopping into it saying, wow, this map is actually freaking awesome. And then you end up seeing experiences like this because players are allowed to go into the overall BR map. And if you guys remember in the previous update, they actually expanded on, the portions of the map that you can edit out into Conquest or Breakthrough forms, meaning that basically the whole thing could be customized to your liking, and you could do stuff exactly like this. It's phenomenal. I'm just going to say that. And also, for anybody who's curious about this overall experience, I will leave, this on the screen for you guys. I think there is a code that you can fill on in, but you have to keep in mind, it's probably not going to be, too many real players. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to get full XP, and that is what we're going to transition into right here, right now. This sucks, DICE. This absolutely sucks. And, obviously, I really supported this idea of Portal, and I really hyped it up. I defended DICE around every single corner when it came to this, and I really believed that was going to be, a huge innovation from what 2042 offered. But we just got to keep it real. You guys completely dropped the ball on this, and the hype that you guys tried to push out on Twitter was completely false, and it did not live up to anything that you guys have stated. In my personal opinion, when I first saw Portal come into life, I didn't even think necessarily server browser. What I thought is the community coming out, making their own custom experiences and their own custom style maps, and then allowing, the overall portion of the community to see these experiences and try these different maps and try these different things that we are putting together. But sadly, what did it boil down to? Bot lobbies, bot servers, again and again and again. And I know they clean them up and they do their job, but there's still no variety. And like I said, I'm already scared that the people who would like to create maps have already left, and they just said, screw this. There's no point in wasting time on this because, it's just not going to benefit at the end of the day. They needed to push harder, and they still can push harder, but I'll be honest, I'm losing a bit of hope. First and foremost, they need to clean things up, man. They have to clean shop, make sure that the experiences are straightforward, allow players who want to find official servers that are, Conquest, Breakthrough, all of that stuff, to be able to have that option very easily without having to jump through 50,000 hoops, because the devs always word it to make it seem like it's so extraordinarily easy to find their experiences and all these easy experiences that are, official. It's not. It is not easy, it takes a lot of effort, and your typical casual player is not going to go through that effort. They're going to go to the browser, try their best to put on the tags and find what they need to find, but they're not going to, as I state, jump through all the hoops to get there, which is just going to lose more population when it comes to Portal and give it less support. So you guys have to clean up shop and make it easier to find stuff. Again, official servers and also the creative servers where people are putting together these actual maps. Secondly, we have to have a way to gain XP and consistency on these maps, which is hard because if it is a bunch of bots, that means you're going to be able to get easy XP and easily progress challenges, which, they're trying to balance. And I still think to this very day, the best idea would be, just allow us to purchase our own servers, which might be too hard at the moment. And I don't even know if that's going to be an option. I highly doubt it, but I feel like that would probably be the easiest solution here. Allow people to purchase servers that are going to be official, they can be advertised officially, and, they can, again, build their custom maps, do custom things, and just, hold actual fun environments. But third, and personally, I think this is the best possible idea they could do right here, right now, especially if they can't figure out a way to balance out XP in Portal, bring these maps into an official playlist, for the love of God. I don't know why they haven't done this yet. Where you can go in and play Conquest, Breakthrough, all these other modes on the main screen. Just take some of the maps from Portal, take some custom, experiences and bring them into the base game and advertise it, saying, this weekly map rotation or this weekly custom map rotation, and talk about how it's fan-made maps, and, people will grow accustomed to seeing this every single week, and it won't be something people play consistently all the time, but it'll be nice to have, and everybody logging into the experience will have something to look forward to and something different, especially when you guys are, going through a rough patch, which you guys are, let's be honest, although I love Battlefield 6. They are at a moment where they have already stated they are reworking a lot of the base maps we already have. I'm assuming extending boundaries and stuff like that, maybe some more cover. And at the same time, they want to make bigger maps for, future updates and future seasons. So, they're a bit busy at the moment. But guess what? You have a literal experience where your community can help you here. You guys are going through a drought, then great. Let your community do the extra lifting, because they will. They don't mind. They'll do it gladly. You don't have to pay them a cent. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something, even if you don't want to do it weekly, do it monthly or every other week. Just anything to add this consistency into the game, because a lot of people love these experiences, but it's hard because, again, either A, you're versing a bunch of bots, or B, it's a mixed progression, so you can't really, progress through everything, which right now, that's what a lot of people want to do, We're still pretty early-ish on in Battlefield. Of course, the hardcore players are finishing up everything, but, for a lot of casuals out there, they're still trickling on through all their weapons, getting all their attachments, getting camos they want, grinding through the classes and stuff of that sorts, unlocking more equipment. They're still working on the game, and they don't want to spend too much time in a side experience if it's not going to offer anything towards them moving forward in the game. And the last idea I could possibly think of, which I think would be phenomenal, is hold some tournaments, hold some events. Even if you don't want to do paid events, that's fine. Don't do paid events. Maybe you could just do a tournament to start off, the whole concept of having weekly rotations. And you could say whoever wins this tournament gets their map in the first weekly rotation, so on and so forth. I don't know. But they should host things to encourage, not only encourage players to make maps and come in and say, oh, wow, this is cool, I want to compete and make something. But at the same time, encourage players to check it out and see what people are actually creating, right? It goes both ways. Yeah, it's great to have people creating things, but if the other players who want to play it aren't interested, then it's going to flop anyways. You got to get everybody involved. Shoot, they're doing tournaments right now for RedSec, the Battle Royale. $1 million+ tournament. That's great and all. I'm glad that the game is successful and they're able to, put that money in certain spots, but I still think Portal is such a valuable asset to Battlefield. Like, am I crazy for thinking that? It's not right now. It's in a horrible spot. But the concept of Portal is genius. It's great. It will help this game and this franchise thrive forever. Literally forever. Not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years. Forever. Having the community back it up, make their own experiences, game modes, maps, all of the above, can give a endless pipeline of entertainment for everyone. It's so crucial that, at least in my opinion, that they focus on this mode and hold events and tournaments around it. And as I stated, put a little bit of, it doesn't have to be $1 million+, but give a little, small cash amount for players to come in and make the best map and, hold a tournament for that and pick a winner. That would go a long way to bringing more hype into Portal, showing you guys care about the game mode, and actually, getting things back on track. But ladies and gentlemen, seriously, Portal is in a horrible spot. I'm seeing all these awesome experiences, which I want to, dive into and I want to experience and I want to play consistently. But DICE is not making it easy to experience this stuff. Players are being very creative and awesome right now, and they're putting together great things that the community has been asking for, but it's just not easily accessible. It's not fun to grind without XP or with a bunch of bots, and it's just in a rough spot. They have a lot of work to do, and I hope that this work is done quickly because there's so much potential packed behind this that just isn't being unleashed just yet. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, guys are interested, go link the channel in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.